Hey everybody, welcome back. It's NAMM 2026 and we are with some bad cat people in a possibly the best little booth at the NAMM show. So it's nice and quiet in here, if not slightly warm. John is here to tell us what is new and beautiful from Bad Cat. But loosely speaking, you're going to hear pretty much all this demo through this amazing mod shop Hot Cat 50, which you haven't heard on Andertons TV yet, but we will do when we get back for shizzle. And then there's the sort of the one underneath is the Black Cat, 30, but from the mod shop. These are great sounding amplifiers, but that's really not the big story of the NAMM show. So, John, grab that PurePath thing.
Grab it.
I'll hold the bigger one, or the Unleash.
Is this 3D?
Yeah, if you want
absolutely,
it to be.
like an old Jaws movie.
It could be anything you want.
Without stating the obvious, it's an attenuator. What have you done differently and more cleverly than anyone else?
It is a not stereo, it is a mono 2-channel, just like the old Unleashes, but there is sort of like a tone control section on the front, like lows and highs, right? So you can adjust ever so slightly or rhythm and channel.
So, sorry if I've got this wrong right out the gates, which would be a standard NAMM thing for me. This isn't just the bigger one of those things.
It is not.
Okay, so which one do you want to start with?
Let's start with this.
Fine, let's start with that.
This is called the PurePath. This is essentially a cab simulator that does not use IRs. It is a analog cab simulator, but it is done in a completely different way. And what I find so fascinating about this is it's not really emulating the sound of a microphone in a cabinet through a preamp, through a compressor, through a this, through that. This will make your PA speaker or your monitor wedge sound like it's a guitar cabinet sitting in the room, which is what we're all trying to do, right?
So, the cool thing is, and I've only really just realized this, okay, so we've put a microphone over where Taylor is sitting. One of these buttons is going to make a 2x12 cab work. One of these buttons is going to make a 1x12 cab work. And one of these buttons is going to make the PA cab that I'm sitting on work.
I thought you were pointing at something
through the PurePath. One of them, and there's also maybe even a fourth one where it'll just be the DI. So how about we just not tell you what you're hearing?
Right. Now the PA speaker has some added low end because Lee wanted that.
Did not want that. Right, so, like I say, 1, 2, and 3 here, but I'm not telling you which is which yet. So, Mr. Pete.
Yes.
Let's hear number 3. Let's hear, actually, if you've already seen another company doing a Bad Cat demo in here, it's cheating, right? So you're disqualified. Let's hear number 2.
This guitar's great, by the way. Oof.
And finally, number 3. Any thoughts, guesses? I mean, my normal tell when I'm hearing it through a PA cab and an IR is an unnatural bass end and excessive top end, and it just doesn't sound like a cab. So if you're hearing any of those things, comment, I think that was number 1, 2, or 3. If you couldn't hear a difference, or at least you couldn't tell which one was the real guitar cab, then you've achieved.
This works.
What the whole point of this box was, right?
That was the point. That's why we did this.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yes.
Because,
Does it involve math?
No.
Okay.
It's me.
Right.
No maths.
All right.
Will this work on an FRFR cab? because I personally don't like FRFR cabs.
That's what this is.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but it's not. We have a studio monitor here, but I'm saying some FRFR cabs are different because they're made out of.
This isn't a studio monitor.
Is that a FRFR cab?
This is a QSC
So
K12.
ignore that because it will. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
it
no,
looks,
this
it looks like a Yamaha, like a speaker that you use.
Is it QSC? Yeah,
It's a QSC K10-2.
Okay.
K10-2.
But is that classified as so?
Well, that's really what all FRFR cabs are, just dressed up versions of this.
Yeah, but yeah,
that's all they are.
Yeah. Horn tweeters.
So,
well, then it works then.
yeah.
Ignore me, I guess you always do.
Okay, so before we do the reveal again, and maybe we'll do another round again, why then don't IRs work for you in a digital format? Why analog?
You know, for me, it's just about you're going through, you know, analog digital conversion and digital analog conversion, just a lot of stuff going on in there. To me, it doesn't sound natural, and it feels like there's a slight, ever so slight latency. I always feel it in my hands. I don't find that there's a lot of room between clean and dirty with your hands. I think it kind of robs you of that. It sort of flattens everything out. I don't, you know, as I'm saying this, I'm thinking I have IR on this.
back pedal, back pedal, back pedal.
Yeah.
However, I would say that I'm not content with them. They work, they work. You put them in a mix, you get enough bass and drums going, and it kind of fits, and the track, it's fine. But I'm not a fan of IRs.
Good for you.
As good as we can get, we did it.
Honestly, it's
But
good
this,
quality.
this shit, I mean, the whole
But
idea.
Sorry, what I mean is it works with anyone. If you got an FR cap, you don't really like the way it sounds. You
Right.
can get one of these, and then that can sound like a.
So my vibe was IRs weren't the problem. FRFR cabs. were
Yes,
the problem.
I agree. That's
We
right.
might be flipping that now. We might be saying actually FRFR cabs aren't the problem. IRs are the problem. And maybe there's no problem. There's no problems.
Only
solutions.
solution. Boom.
Perfect.
Jinx.
Let's just. Can I see this a second?
Yeah.
So
It's clever though.
It's a sort of a reasonably weighty transformer, presumably to absorb the the load.
There's a fan in there, even though that doesn't plug in the wall, so it's passive.
Yeah.
There is a fan in there that spins as it absorbs energy from your amplifier, and it kind of absorbs energy similar to a guitar speaker does.
So I can't attenuate through to the cab here, can I?
The cabinet is on
just
or off.
On or off. So it's just a load box, isn't it, with some various settings for how you want the thing to sound. Okay, I'm going to do the reveal. So just one last chance, okay? Here is 1, 3, sorry. Another one. And another one. So there you go. One last chance to guess. If you guessed that number 3 was the FRFR cab, you'd be completely wrong. Because number 1 was the FRFR cab, 2 was a 1x12, and 3 was a 2x12.
It sounds good, man. I didn't know when I was sat down first and did it, and I was like, what?
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive. I mean, I'm sitting on it, so obviously I'm feeling.
You love it.
You
love it.
Get that low
But
end.
there you go. So that's
Rumbling,
cool.
sacrilegious.
In fact, one of the things before we move on,
thing.
let's just. If I leave it on 1, but we now use a different channel on our recorder, you can just hear the through. So this is the straight DI from here into our camera.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm back down on the guitars a little bit.
What is the Unleash V3 then, if it's not a bigger version of that?
I haven't the slightest idea.
Oh, good.
Here, I'll sit this down. This is the long, I mean, you know, the Unleash we came up with the Unleash in 2012, 2013.
I don't remember it ever.
It was out there, well, because we only made a couple thousand of them or something.
I remember the Unleash.
It was under-engineered, and it had some problems, but it was kind of unique. And of course, my patent lawyer at the time said, hey, you should patent this idea, post, power amp application. I said, who's going to buy these, right? 300-400 of them. That was a big mistake. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here right now. Boss would be paying me royalties, and I'd be hitting golf balls off a boat. But forget that. Anyhow, this is the Unleash right here, V3. This is a long-awaited, updated version of the V3. I got my very good friend Bruce Egnator, and I put this together. It is a 2-channel. You've got a low and a high tone knob on each side, so you can kind of move the highs and lows around a bit, like a resonance and a presence, sort of. input trim, proper input trim, a fantastic sounding output for headphones. And on the back, we have a miniature version of the PurePath.
Right.
Miniature.
So this is an attenuator with PurePath built in.
It is, yeah. But you don't get all the options like, you get a couple options, but not the open back, closed back, 112, 212, that sort of thing. Effects loop. You've got a line or instrument, so you can run different kinds of effects loops. You have, from the amp, you've got, all the different ohmages for the inputs. Output to speakers.
So you mentioned the Boss thing. I assume you mean the Waza tube expander. So is this a load box then that's running that into a solid state power amp and going up? Right. So it's that kind of attenuator.
That's a thing now, is it? This year?
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Just how most of the clever people think that seems to be a better way than just a pure attenuation, because you get so much high frequency loss if you just use a traditional attenuator, whereas load box into a solid state amp doesn't seem to have that detrimental effect on the top end.
Right.
All the valve purists out there will be go, it's not a valve amp anymore. I don't know, but it's tried and tested tech. More people are trying to do it like that now than they are the old way. So must be something in that. Right?
Yeah, we were the first that did it back in 2012 or so. We just did it poorly, but now we fixed that.
Yeah, it's a nice size. It's a nice size, not too heavy.
I've heard that. Yeah. Anyhow, I'll clean it up. Sorry.
No,
Don't
sorry.
clean it up.
That's
It's
fine.
us,
It's
man. You don't
fine.
have to
It's
clean
totally
anything up.
fine. Well, look, I believe
You got people to do that for us.
that's. Have we got any kind of rough idea what pricing might be on the PurePath and the Unleash?
We do.
yet?
The PurePath, as you say,
PurePath.
is about
How would you say it?
I don't know, 99-ish, right?
Oh, really?
$4.99.
Ballpark, yeah.
That's not bad, is it?
That's right. Even a guy like I can afford that.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is yet to be determined, but it is in the ballpark of around 800 to 900.
Fine. Cool.
Quid,
Did you hear
bob,
that?
pence,
8
whatever.
to 900
That's not bad either,
pounds,
man.
quid.
Yeah.
No, that's
Fine.
great.
Yep.
Look, man, pleasure to see you again.
It is
Please
always-
find an excuse to come to England so we can have some lunch, spend the day talking about all other bad cat things.
Aye.
Yeah, it's a nice looking guitar,
That's
isn't
good,
it?
isn't it?
Great little bit of playing there, Mr. Pete.
Thank you.
Are we done? See you later. Goodbye.
Bye.
Adios.